The other thing I have on my desk is a picture of Gareth Southgate with his two hands. The way you'd grab a lover, Nathan. Clasped around the cheeks of Eric Dyer. Face to face. Passion.
There's an insight.
England. That's on the back page of the Times. Yes, it really happened is their headline. They're still in disbelief that they won a penalty shootout. It was kind of an amazingly absorbing game for not a very good game in many respects. I think lots of neutrals were complaining about the whole thing.
We were lost in Donegal, so missed the first half, which by all accounts was a good idea because it wasn't particularly memorable.
Colombia were very, very negative.
Yeah.
They sat back and...
It was a proper knockout, tense
well.
scrap in the second
They
half.
were so cynical. The Colombians really did get in everybody's wake, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Jordan Pickford's save.
Yeah.
Jordan Pickford's save.
With the wrong hand as well, which made it even more difficult.
I think he was thinking initially about going with the other hand and then had to adjust
Readjust
mid-air.
his body, yeah,
when he realised the flighted thing wasn't working out so well for him. An amazing save.
That was the criticism of him earlier in the tournament, that he was diving with the wrong arm. Now, professional goalkeepers who've gone into analysis say, no, you've got this completely wrong. There was very little he could actually do.
Okay.
But it was a shame that Colombia scored straight afterwards to take away from the importance of it. Does the fact that they won this penalty shootout justify and mean that all the psychological work that Gareth Southgate has done?
No, it's scoreboard journalism. Like, there's loads of pieces today talking about how England have bottle now and England are different. Like, come on, it's just pure scoreboard journalism. If they'd lost, they would have been all the usual characteristics.
But they didn't.
I know, but you can't...
Because of everything he's done.
It's fine margins. What's he done? They're swimming around in swimming pools on unicorns.
Well, that wasn't anything to do with their practicing for penalty kicks. That was just when they were chilling out. Boy, I'd love to be in a swimming pool now with unicorns.
The only thing I know it's incredibly hot in here. It's like a car. We're in a car basically, and no one's cracked the window open. The only thing I saw that I read that they had done was they had done a big study of penalties, and one of the things they had noticed was that leaving a pause actually was very beneficial, and England were the worst from when the whistle was blown to take the penalty to then starting the run-up. And I did notice Eric Dyer did take a few beats before he scored the penalty, but that could be just complete projection. Who knows?
Well, I think they did some practical things as well, such as taking the time as to where you're placing the ball, looking around where you've placed the ball to
Have you
ensure
heard this,
that,
or these are just your observations?
No, this is what I had been reading about some of the things they'd done over last week, so that your other foot, not the foot you're kicking with, the foot that you're planting, that the piece of ground there is solid.
Who could forget Bex?
Exactly. But even something like that, Joe.
No, that's a fair point.
Nobody slipped last night.
I was watching in a hotel lobby area and was under the impression that we were all quietly rooting for England. You know, this likeable English bunch, until Colombia scored and the place just erupted. I mean,
was
erupted.
there not a divide? Because in the hotel we were watching it in, there was a sizable chunk of English supporters who were loud and were enjoying it, as they're perfectly entitled to do. And I thought actually something similar. Everyone was going, okay, fair enough, they're over here, they're working, they can do what they want, until Colombia scored again.
There was a sizable amount of women in our house who were very disappointed that Love Island went back by an hour. I think that was probably the worst reaction we had in our house.
Right. It was disappointment for everyone, was it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We had come to an agreement beforehand, if it went extra time and penalties, we were watching them anyway. And then they found out Love Island was at 10.
Funny, of all the penalty takers as they were walking up, I didn't want to miss. I saw Marcus Rashford, and I thought, oh, not 20-year-old Marcus Rashford. It's too much pressure for a 20-year-old.
Could ruin him. Eric Dyer wasn't actually meant to take the penalty kick. Jamie Vardy was due to take.
I was wondering why he didn't take
one. Yeah.
Vardy picked up some sort of a groin strain in the final couple of minutes.
There was a moment in I think it was extra time, where Vardy's first touch from a ball over the top almost had me standing up applauding. Do you remember that one? It's just sublime. He's a really brilliant substitute to have.
He's very unlucky not to be starting. The way he's continued, from the outside, people may look at Jamie Vardy and think he's part of that Leicester fairy tale, that it was a one-off, it was this freak thing. Whereas actually his record of the last couple of seasons against the better teams as well really stacks up.
Could they drop Sterling and maybe play Vardy up front with Kane?
Oh, it's an interesting question. I think Dele Alli's under a bit of pressure as well. He doesn't... I mean, I know they said it in commentary a few times, he doesn't look right, but he really did look in third, fourth gear territory. Just moseying along, not really breaking his back.
Is this going to happen? Is this going to happen now?
England winning the World Cup? Well, we can only hope, Nathan. We can only hope.
Sweden?
Actually, just as Jimmy, Rashford has a weird penalty technique. What's this, like, starting on the right-hand side of the ball and sort of doing a few...
shimmy. And then,
little Fred Flintstone twinkle toes and coming back around and then going back around. It just seems like you're introducing extra variables there that you don't need to.
Well, again, is it getting into a process that you repeat again and again? Is this a sort of like a
I just feel like there's a lot of moving parts in that pre-shot routine, you know?
A lot of places to slip up.
Kind of, yeah.
I know we praised Pickford as well, but did you notice the first 3 or 4 penalties Pickford went the same way, and Colombia were happy enough to just smash it down the middle? Oof. He'll have to change that if they get to penalties. I know he made a really good save for the one he did save, but he went to his right for the first 3 Colombian penalties, and every single one they waited before he moved and then hit it.
Right, I didn't actually notice that too much.
So he's jumping too early.
Yeah, he moved early. Like Falcao, particularly the first one, literally waited until Pickford was gone and then put it straight down the middle.
A last question before we get into our news round: does Jordan Henderson get to take a penalty again?
No,
that's a bad point.
Absolutely not.
No, okay.
But surely the scar tissue is still there.
I figured
you
that
move
was the
on.
answer.
You move down the list. Somebody else takes it.
So again, a reminder of the plan this evening. News round.
Would you let Kilban take a penalty again for Ireland?
No.
Silence says it all, Joe.
Yes, I would. Yeah,
of course.